Hey everybody, welcome to The Village Guy. If you're joining for the first time, we chat to people from Paarl and Wellington doing amazing things and following their dreams. And one of those individuals is Tyler Lange. Now he got my attention. Of course, he's been cycling for quite some time, but this year I saw he was in Europe with a professional cycling team. So I wanted to find out how his experience was there. And then also, he finished Matric last year. So what are the big dreams for the future?
SCP Radiology, an established radiology practice in the Western Cape, is on a mission to provide high-quality and precise diagnostic radiological procedures. Their latest branch, located in Paarl Medicenter, offers top-quality dedicated X-ray imaging in the heart of Paarl. Find out more on their website at www.scp.co.za.
Welcome, Tyler Lange.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so
Good to be here.
are we on holiday?
Yeah, got 3 weeks off now, what we call off season. So try stay off the bike. After being on the bike all year, it's now time just to switch off.
Yeah.
And do some other things. Picked up a bit of playing paddle now, so doing some other things besides riding a bike. But yeah, it's been good. Bit of downtime.
Why are we cycling?
Why? Good question. Yeah, I mean, I grew up around bikes with my dad racing professionally. Since I was in a pram, I've been watching riding. My dad tried everything to get me to play golf, try rugby, running, but the bicycle, I always enjoyed it.
Okay.
And then focus mainly on road, and it's what I love.
So when did we start? Like at what age did we start cycling?
No idea. I mean, as soon as I could ride a bike, I was on it.
Yeah.
Racing, probably maybe 11 or 12.
Okay.
Some small racing, track racing. I started on the track and obviously born in Joburg, and started with track and then switched onto the road, probably 13, 14.
Okay. And so we finished Matric last year, so this year was a massive year for you?
Yeah, really big.
So why was it big?
So obviously finished Matric, probably in around November I signed the contract with EF and to go live overseas. Obviously just finishing Matric, it was quite an adjustment. So used to that normal going to school, normal times, maybe riding my bike in the afternoon. Now I just had to ride my bike, which is quite a big adjustment.
Yeah.
And obviously the levels go up massively when you can train all day and it's all you really have to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's always been my dream. So to be able to do that was amazing. I mean, to do it professionally.
Yes, I mean, how does it happen? You in Matric and you're busy writing finals, you get a call and say, Tyler, we want you up in Europe?
It was around probably over a month. I had to send numbers into the team and it kind of got narrowed down over quite a few riders. I did get a call after about 2 weeks to say, okay, you're kind of into the bottom half of the guys. We've narrowed it down, you are still in it. So I'm like, okay, it's really good. I didn't think I'd actually get the call up. I was positive, but maybe I just thought, sure, I'm still quite young, and you still think, geez, I'm still in school. And then I got the call to say, okay, no, you need to start getting visas ready and get everything done. So I was in the middle of finals and I got the call and I was like, geez, okay.
How do I concentrate?
First focus on finals, let's get this done. And obviously, I mean, school comes first. School is always first for me. And then we said, okay, it's your exams, not allowed a bike, I have to focus. And then as soon as finals ended the next day, I was training.
Okay, so when you get the call, who's the first person you're telling that I got a call from a European country for a contract?
So obviously my dad helped me negotiate. So we were kind of between the two of us chatting to the team and getting everything ready and understanding is the contract right and all of this. And then was signed probably around beginning of November. Was actually signed.
So it's the first time that you're away from mom and dad for a very long time alone in Europe?
Pretty much.
So we're 18 years old and we're in this big world of Europe. What's happening?
Well, I'd done small stints in Belgium. From grade 10, 11, or 11 and 12 I did, but just a month overseas, which is still long in school. I mean, it's still a big adjustment, but thank goodness I did do that. Because it does just give you that little bit of I can kind of cope, and I understand the European way because it's very different to South Africa. But I got over there, and then I was based in Spain. I'd never been to Spain before. Girona, so it's an hour from the airport in Barcelona. Got there and obviously freezing cold.
Yeah.
I think I flew over there in Feb, and here it's it's boiling in Feb. So you're coming from 40 degrees to about 5 degrees.
Jeez.
And that's one thing to get used to and how to train in that cold. And I lived in a team house with the team, so it was 6 of us from all over the world, Japanese, Ethiopians, South Africans. It was really, really cool. And then just to get used to that way of also just being able to train all day. There you train a lot later, so you try right through lunch. So you maybe leave around 11 o'clock, train through lunch, get back late.
Yeah. How many hours are we putting on the bike per day?
I think on average we normally work per week. It's roughly 22 to 23 hours a week. So it's big weeks. I mean, at school you'll never hit those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
It's way less. Maybe 15 hours is a big week when you've got school.
Yeah.
So to be able to do 22 hours, your values, everything just keeps going up and up and up.
And are they tracking how many kilometers you do over a week? So how many are you supposed to be doing?
I have a personal coach.
Right.
A lot of the teams have coaches, but the team does have a coach, and I have my personal one, so we kind of work together. And the team would have full access to all my numbers, and I would upload it, and they would monitor where I'm at, and are you ready for this race, and kind of things like that.
So how many are we doing per week? So if you're riding 20 to 23 hours a week, how many kilometers on average are you riding?
Probably, well, I know over a year, this year I'll probably be by the end of December around 24,000 kilometers.
Jeez. So
but it's more than most cars.
Your resale value is going down.
That's the thing with bicycles. It works the other way. With cycling, it's like the more you have, the better your rider. It's a lot.
And explain what it is in the professional setup. So, like, of course, this is Europe. They always say when you're cycling in Europe, the competition is like crazy compared to South Africa. What's experience in stepping into a professional environment?
I think Europe, it's where everyone wants to go. So you have everywhere in the world, all the best riders want to be in Europe. It's the place to be for cycling. Obviously, everyone knows the Tour de France. That's the end goal for everyone. If you make it into the Tour, you've made it. And I mean, we're lucky in South Africa. We've got a few guys that have made it. And being based in Girona, a lot of the pros live there because it's very central. You have good weather. So I'm living with the best in the world. With the likes of Daryl MP and training with all of them.
That's cool.
So it was really cool. I mean, you learn their way of how they operate.
And of course, if you're from South Africa and there's South African there,
makes life way better.
Speak about the Afrikaans with each other.
Yeah, I know, it was awesome. I mean, and guys from all over South Africa, that's what's so awesome. It was nice. I think it also just gives you a bit, you're missing home and it's like, geez, I'm not used to this. And it's like, you can ask them, how did they cope? And I mean, they can all say, geez, the first year or two is hard. You're not used to. Makes it a bit more bearable. But it was good.
So why does everybody flock to Europe? Is it just because of Tour de France? But why do all professionals want to be in Europe?
Race days. A lot more racing.
For your points.
So what we have is the UCI. So you have different levels in your UCI racing. You have Continental and you have World Tour.
Right.
So World Tour is your races like Tour of Italy, Tour de France, Tour of Spain. That's your big races. And obviously there's lots of others, but that is your really, really big races. So I'm one level down in Continental. So Continental, you still race the big races, just not that top level. It's your bridging step. It's kind of where you learn to race a bike. But it's also the second highest level from the top. So you still racing big races. I raced Tour of Bulgaria, Luxembourg, things like that. So it's still big races, it's just different. It's
Yeah.
often maybe short, it's not over 3 weeks, it's maybe a week of racing.
Okay, alright.
Things like that.
And competition, like next level?
Yeah, it's different to South Africa.
Okay.
I just think there's so many good riders, so that makes it, maybe in South Africa you could have a bunch of 120 guys, but it's normally maybe 10 to 15 guys that can really make the racing. When there you have 180 starters and 180 guys can win the race.
Yeah. That's...
Obviously you do still have your 5 or 6 superhuman guys that are really just on another level, but anyone in the race can win it. They all deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And also the teams are big, and they all know what their objective is for the race.
Yeah.
And also race distances. It's a lot longer. South Africa, a long race is normally 120, 130 kilometers. Over there, it's normally an average distance is about 160. I think the longest was maybe 1 or 230.
Yeah. Jeez.
So that's also for me. I couldn't go straight into 230 race. I had to get used to the maybe 160. That was still far for me, and I eventually pulled up to it. But yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Okay, so what's happening? So you're on holiday now, or you're 3 week off? So what happens in the future?
So obviously through December, we always call it base training. So it's long, slower miles.
Okay.
A lot of guys always think pros have to ride fast, but it's not always about that. We do long, slow miles, lose weight.
Okay.
Christmas is always tricky because you're trying to lose weight and you have to have a Christmas lunch. So you got to weigh it up a bit. Either you eat the Christmas lunch and then just have a longer day the next day, or but base training, and then we have nationals early Feb.
Okay.
So that's normally the first big one.
Okay.
You get quite a lot of points. It's the only race in South Africa with points, UCI points.
All right.
So if you win it, it's obviously quite a big one.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be the first one of the season. We do have Western Province Champs, which is a nice little test. I think it's mid-Jan.
Okay. Geez, so you really have to in December
Yeah.
practice because it's like starts immediately in the new year.
It's different because Europe, they can start a bit later with their training because their season, obviously it's freezing the first few months, so they don't have to worry as much. There's not much racing. And their nationals is normally maybe June in their summer.
Okay. Right.
So because South Africa generally have a long season because you have to start in so early and then you've got to carry through the European season.
Yeah.
So it can make it a bit long. You get tired. Like now, you need a good break.
Of course,
So,
And are you still with this team next year? How does it work?
So unfortunately, I won't be riding with EF for next year.
Okay.
The EF sponsors actually pulled out of the development team.
Okay.
They're just with their World Tour team.
Okay.
So yeah, chatting to a few different teams at the moment, and we'll over the next few weeks kind of see what happens.
Yeah. Also Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
The aim is obviously to get back to Europe.
Get back to Europe.
Yeah, in any form of way I want to get back because the level is just a lot higher.
Yeah.
So to make it there, you got to be there.
Yeah.
And live there and just get used to their way.
Has there ever been a time where you thought, I'm done with the cycling on the bike all the time? Like
Maybe not so much on the bike, it's actually more living to try and make it.
Okay. Right.
Like living in Europe, it's hard, it's not easy, it's a different way, and you don't have friends or family there, it makes it hard. I think it's also nice in our time we have technology, you can pick up the phone, I can phone my friends back home. It does make it easier, but it's still tricky. I mean, it's not home, it's not South Africa, and I love it, so I always come back, it'll always be my home.
Yeah.
But to make it there, I can't travel back and forth.
Yeah.
The traveling just absolutely kills you.
It's expensive, isn't it?
It's super expensive. It's
I
great.
can imagine what it is to get all the way to where you need to be.
I came back in March this year for a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And I had 2 weeks. I said, let me come back. I'll train here. And also the weather was a bit better here at that point. Came back, got back, and I said to my parents, I'm not doing it again. It's just the travel.
Yeah.
You're either going to get sick or it's just this knock-on effect that takes a week to get used to after getting to a place. So I just said, no, just going to stay in Europe.
Okay.
I was fortunate my family actually came over for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So I was still in full training mode, but at least they were there just to also see where I'm living. It's nice. I'm not trying to explain it. They actually know when I speak like, hey, that coffee shop, they know where it is now. A lot of coffee, which was nice over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's living away from home. It's not easy,
100%.
especially finishing school. You go straight into it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like at 19, leaving the house, going
Yeah.
to Europe. I don't think anybody. You have to be really dedicated to the craft to survive there.
I still get the question a lot. Yeah, so what are you doing? And I say I'm cycling, but what are you really doing?
Yeah.
They don't understand that it's a proper job. It can.
It's not a hobby anymore.
No, not anymore. So it was a lot to get used to, but I think the bike's also a nice kind of outlet point for me.
Yeah.
it also obviously helps pass time. You're there, you know, okay, that's for the next 4 hours I'm on my bike, I'm focusing on what I want to do. And with no other distractions there, you properly focus on your riding. So you worry about everything, what you're eating, how you're recovering, everything. So
It's a professional life.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've got a few this or that questions. It's one word answers. I'm just going to ask it. You can shoot the answer.
Okay.
Cool. Movies or series?
Movies.
Okay. What's the latest one you watched?
Sure. Latest one. Geez, I'm actually trying to think. Actually, I have no idea what I've been watching.
Okay, that means you've been training very well.
Yeah. Actually, okay. I'll be training.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Okay. Braai or dinner?
Braai.
Okay. Fishing or hunting?
Fishing.
All right. Podcast or music?
Music.
Okay, if there's one song that's on your playlist now, which one would be playing the most? Most played song on Tyler's playlist?
Probably Memories by David Guetta.
Okay, cool. All right, that's also one of our questions. Boxing or UFC?
Boxing.
Okay. Are you an early riser or a late sleep? What do we call it?
Super early riser.
Is it, okay, but you have to.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods or any else?
Any else?
Okay. Avicii or David Guetta?
Ooh. Probably David.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If a genie came out of a bottle and you rub it back and 3 wishes came out, what are the 3 wishes?
Make travel faster.
Okay, so we teleporting.
Yeah, teleporting.
Right.
Would be a lot easier. Quicker recovery. That would help a lot, I must say. And third one. Maybe read the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Pretty cool.
Dream car?
Ooh, dream car. There's too many.
Okay, give me 3. Give me your top 3.
Okay, 3.
Because you are a car person, so give me 3.
Bugatti Chiron.
Okay.
There
There was one in Paul also?
Yeah.
Okay.
GT2 RS, Porsche.
Okay, yes, okay. What color would you get then?
All black.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm there.
And then maybe Mercedes G-Wagon.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So not a Nissan person or Toyota
No,
GTR.
A lot of German cars, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing you bought?
That's probably a bike.
Okay.
I must say.
What was the price of the bike?
Bikes are too expensive.
Yeah.
Probably.
More than
Actually, it was probably a car, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I have.
Yeah, but I've seen the prices. I think I saw.
But yeah, they're not far off bikes, I must say.
Yeah. No,
So yeah, bikes are pretty crazy.
Best thing that happened to you this year?
Oh, the opportunity to go race overseas.
Right.
Definitely.
What are you excited about these days?
To see how I can improve and kind of where I can get to. Because I've improved so much over the past maybe 8 months.
Yeah.
To see what I can do over 2-3 years would be crazy.
Right. What are you worried about?
Training. Base training. Yeah, it's a lot of long miles.
Yeah, it's hardcore. If you could switch lives with one person in the world for one day, who would it be?
Lewis Hamilton. Easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because we've got a Ferrari in the house here, so you're a Lewis fan.
Yeah, Lewis, I just enjoy it. Yeah, and he's been around for a while, so I think his experience must be awesome. I think he's got a pretty cool job the way he travels.
Okay. So
I think any Formula One driver, but I think Lewis.
So you're F1 fan as well?
Yeah.
So you're of course Mercedes fan as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lando Norris, McLaren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the Grand Prix?
I've watched on TV.
No,
but
live.
no. It's on my bucket list, definitely.
Which one?
I'm gonna see this weekend. Vegas must look good. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
So which one would you want to go see live yourself?
I'd actually probably say Vegas. I think it must be pretty cool. Or Monaco. Yeah. Monaco.
Because I found out last week there's one in Mexico. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It's in Mexico.
Maybe Monaco because it's quite a short flight compared to flying that side.
It's a good classic.
And it's the most expensive probably.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
But you probably lose your mind with all the cars there anyway. So.
Yeah, I've been to Monaco. There's no Formula One cars at the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you miss the most?
As in when
you're overseas?
I mean friends and family obviously, but yeah, probably my parents. I mean, it's obviously also coming out of home, I think.
Yeah. If you could start a business, what would you start?
Probably something to do with social media and cars. I think for me it's one of my hobbies, and I already do it as a bit of a hobby. So I think to kind of further with that must be pretty cool.
Yeah, try to monetize it to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It's hard work, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
sure.
videoing and editing and
yeah, I'm sure.
it's hard work. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just get someone to do it for you.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day I would enjoy that, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best experience behind the wheel of a car. What car was it?
Actually a Porsche GT2.
Okay, so
I have driven one, yeah.
Alright, cool. Okay,
yeah.
that's
very, very cool.
I can imagine.
Day I'll never forget, so yeah.
Supper with 3 people, they could be dead or alive.
Probably Peter Sagan, ex-pro rider. I grew up watching him. His stories must be pretty cool.
Right.
I'm gonna say then Lewis Hamilton, and one more. It would probably be another pro, but maybe one from quite a while back, maybe Greg LeMond.
Okay.
Bit of a different time of cycling, just to hear all the stories back then.
Who's your role model for cycling?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best advice you've ever received?
Talent only gets you so far. Yeah, okay. Margot Robbie.
Okay, see, I know.
Okay.
What's the hair that comes out like that? Didn't she
Oh,
play the
yeah,
evil person? Didn't she play?
Yeah, with Joe.
Yeah. A quote that you love by.
Might be a bit boring, but back to that one with talent only gets you so far. I think it's so true.
Yeah.
I am maybe blessed with talent to ride a bike, and once you realize it helped me when I was younger, when no one else is really training.
Yeah.
But when training starts and you have talent, and you think, I can carry me a bit. It helps, but it's not everything.
If you weren't cycling, what would you be doing?
I think it would probably be at the moment still to do with sport.
Okay.
I'm very competitive.
Okay.
So it would probably be running.
All right. Are we a runner?
Athletics, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I did enjoy it. Obviously, I stopped it too, didn't really work together, but I did enjoy athletics, and I probably would have seen where it got me.
Okay.
But yeah, whether it would be still doing it, I don't know. But yeah.
So, where do you see yourself next year, December 2024?
Hopefully with a few more UCI points.
Okay.
Because that would mean it was quite a good year for me.
Right.
And by December, hopefully sign with another good team for that would be then 2025.
25.
Yeah.
What's the big dream?
Make it World Tour.
Okay.
That's maybe the first big dream, and then obviously Tour de France. Make it to that level.
Yeah. So Tour de France is every cyclist's dream.
I think it is because maybe people that don't know cycling so much know about it.
Yeah.
So if you've made it into the tour, it means a lot.
Yeah.
And people always ask, have you ridden the Tour de France? Because they think it's like the Cape Town Cycle Tour, which you can just go enter.
Yeah.
I do get that a lot. So yeah, I think that is the end goal. If you get there, you have made it. And obviously there hasn't been a lot of South Africans. But yeah, that's the main goal.
Yeah. So what is the secret of being a successful professional cyclist?
Know when to take off and actually learn to recover and not ride, and then also know when to ride and fully switch on, and rather not do half-hearted training. Either go out if you're feeling bad, rather don't even go out and just do it properly when you feel like doing it.
Okay.
Obviously you can't do that too much, but when you don't feel like getting on the bike, rather don't, and just get up the next day and do it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, training. It's follow what you need to do, and just make sure you have the right coach and you know where your goals are.
Yeah.
So,
And what was your best race ever? Where you really felt like this was the one?
I must say I enjoyed Cape Town Cycle Tour in 2021, I think it was.
Okay.
I won. I was a junior at the time, and it was 2020. Sorry, I was a junior at the time. So under 19, and we were on restricted gears because we were younger, and we were allowed to race with the pros.
Okay.
So obviously you go in thinking I'm a youngster, I'm not really going to feature. I ended up finishing 14th overall, and won the juniors by quite a bit.
Okay.
And for me, because it was a very select group of just the pros in the front,
Right.
so for me to be there, it was a bit like, whoa, how did I?
I'm surrounded.
And it was also annoying because I feel like I could have done more if I wasn't on restricted gears.
Okay.
But that was like wow, okay, that was quite a cool one. But I'd probably say, I mean, this year, Tour of Bulgaria, I didn't have any big results, a few top 20s, but that was the first big race that I actually started to feature. I think that was also another cool one.
Okay. So of course next year, December, you want to be pros in a different pro team. What were you in 5 years time on your team list?
Team list, I'll take any World Tour team.
Okay.
If you're in any one of them, they're all big, proper setups.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many there are at the moment, but it's probably around 15 teams or so.
Okay.
So it's a bit like Formula One in that sense, where it's a selected amount of guys. You can't just have massive teams.
Okay.
So if you're in one of those, you've made it into the top level of cycling. And obviously in 5 years, if I am in one of those, to be featuring in racing would be the main goal.
Yeah, that would be
amazing.
every cyclist's big dream.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dude, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was finally nice to meet.
Yeah.
Tyler Lange. I follow you on social media, and I just see supercars and I see cycling. Yes, guys. So that is Tyler Lange. We chatted a bit about his cycling here professionally overseas. Until next time. Goodbye.